Hi, Eric here. So this is my 2017 Volvo XC90 D5. It's basically a workhorse for our family. It's been basically sitting under the sun since it's new. I never kept it indoor really. So I mean, if you go around the car, there's like some scratches here. The bumper has been repainted by the panel beater due to my son pushed the car actually into my neighbor's fence. And if we go here, you can see the fiber was actually repaired. So that's my neighbor's internet fiber. If we go back to see the car, so that has been repainted, but it's got a bit of a scratch here. And you can see it has some sort of like a hairline marks on here. If it's actually on the edge of the door as well. It's hard to see under the sun, but you can see it here, hopefully. And also some mark here, and I believe those are because of the harsh New Zealand sun, and it's been oxidized. Also a bit of a touch up here in the front and there as well. So I think my plan is I want to save some money. I ordered some paint, some spray cans, and I would love to try to do a little bit of paint corrections and see if I can improve the look of it. And the first bit that I am going to try is to try to repaint the trim here. So I think first step is I'm going to pop it off. First time I've ever tried, never tried it. So I'm going to pop it off and see if I can sand it a little bit, and I'll repaint the whole thing. Alright, so it's quite easy to... I carefully took it off, and it seems like all the clips and things were intact, no damage, which is good. Just going to wash it first. Oh, one thing is worth to mention, I had some deep scratch here, and I had put on some plastic bumper filler before. That was quite a while ago, so I'm going to sand it down, especially in this area. Maybe give it a little bit of sand around here because of the oxidations, and then try to maybe just repaint the whole thing. So there is quite a bit of tar around this area, so I'm going to use some tar remover and try to clean up this area. It will take a while. Since there's a bit of a scratch around this area, I'm going to use some coarser sandpaper, 240 to start with. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of sandpaper at home. I will just start with what I have, and just give it a bit of a rub and ensure that the surface is smooth. Honestly, I don't know the correct procedure, but this is what I think I need to do, and I'm going to prime it and then give the overall trim a sort of like a very fine sand, and then we'll see if I will need to maybe spray a base coat and then a clear coat on top, but we start from there. Okay, I gave a bit of a sand and I can still feel some deep scratch here, and also a bit of a deep scratch. You can see the black and the transitions between the black and the gray. I can feel there is a bit of a scratch still. So I'm gonna still apply some plastic bumper filler, fill that up a little bit, and there as well. Let it dry and then resand it.
A few moments later.
So after filling it and sanding it with 240 grit, my finger feels very smooth here. A little bit of a scratch here. I think I'll give it a little bit more sanding. Unfortunately, today is a public holiday. I have not got any, like 300 grit or 400 grit sandpaper. The next one up I have is 1200. So I probably won't do anything here for now. Maybe I would, but anyway, I think what I would do is I will use the 1200 grit to give all the other surface a bit of a buff, and then I'll come back to prime this one, and then we go for the next step. Right, I can still feel a little bit of imperfection here, but honestly I probably won't do another fill this time. I'll leave it as it is, and I'm going to use some wax and grease remover just to clean up this area, and I'm going to spray this plastic primer. I'm not going to spray the entire trim, just going to spray on a little bit on here and a little bit on there, well, to start with, and then sand it off a little bit, and then I think I'll apply a base coat across the entire trim and start from there.
A few moments later.
Right, so I'm going to use some wax and grease remover to clean this part onwards, from here to there. I try to avoid where I have applied the primer because I'm not too sure if the primer can actually withstand the wax remover, and then I'm going to apply a base coat on the entire thing. Oh, by the way, this is the base paint. Well, I got it from China because it's cheap. I have given them my color code, and hopefully it will match pretty well. It's a very interesting setup rather than just a single can. The paint is actually inside the pan, so you can actually use it to touch up, or use it in front of the nozzle, and when the compressed air goes through, and it will basically spray the paint out. So I'm never used to it. We'll give it a try. So I have to unscrew this. See the pan here? I give it a good shake and unscrew the top and pop it up there. Screw it in. One thing I forgot is a tip needs to be inside in the middle. Otherwise the paint wouldn't draw out. So I just tested on the film. It's very inconsistent. I think I would have to go down to the auto shop and buy a traditional spray can myself, and so I'll come back and do it tomorrow.
One day later.
Right, I just bought this spray can from the local auto shops, and they basically mix the paint based on the paint coat that I gave it to them. It's Volvo electric silver, so they mix the paint and then push it into the spray can. So again, I'm going to clean this trim once more, and then I'm going to spray the base coat. I've just applied about 4 to 5 very light coat of base coat, and oops, let's focus here, and it seems to cover quite well here. Bit of imperfection here, as I know, but it seems to be covering the. We go around here. Try to focus. Oops. So it seems to be covering quite well. So as I read the instructions on the spray can, I'm going to just let it dry for about 40 minutes, and then I'm going to apply the clear coat on top of it. Waited for about half an hour, and in another 5-10 minutes I'm going to spray this clear coat. I'll probably spray, I don't know, 2 or 3 times and see how we go. So I've just sprayed about 5 coats of clear coat. Oops, it's always not focusing on this area. It's quite okay, bit of imperfection, but I'm okay with it. Oops, just trying to focus again. According to the instructions, I need to wait 24 hours before I can do any polish, so I'll just leave it overnight, and I'll try to give it a bit of a polish tomorrow morning and see how we go.
1 day later.
So I let it dry for about 1 day, and I'm going to use some 2000 grit sandpaper to wet sand it, just very lightly, and then use some polishing compounds or rubbing compounds to just polish it. Hey, I've popped the trim back on. I can tell a little bit of a color difference, which is expected. It seems like the mix paint is slightly greener, but probably wouldn't have a clue, you know, from say 1 meter or 2 meters away, which is expected. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I got a bit of imperfections here. I think I could have just painted the base coat a little bit more and sand it a little bit more thoughtfully before I apply the clear coat, and that will hide these imperfections. This is expected anyway because I didn't fill this part again properly. But overall I'm very happy with the result, and I think that could give me better confidence that I'm going to fix some of these oxidations around here. So that will be the next step, and thanks very much for watching.